about the effects of addiction in a relationship and how it affects not only the person but affects the marriage. And for me, my basic testimony would be in the 70s I was a pot-smoking hippie, and in the 80s I was a whiskey-drinking alcoholic. And what it did was I went from a mellow man to an angry man, and how that affected our relationship. Share a little bit, hon.
Well, it was like one day David seemed to be this really calm, casual person, and then the next day he was just angry about everything. It didn't matter what I said or our children said, he was angry, and all this strife just came into our house, and it was like living in a war zone all the time, and that went on for a long, long time.
I'll share one quick story. We had a terrible argument one night, and I can remember taking my young daughter into the bedroom and locking the door and telling her, "Mom and I are going to get a divorce, and you're going to come with me, and everything's going to be all right." And here my daughter is crying, as she's sitting on the bed hearing all of this, a little girl. And outside the door that I had locked is my wife beating on the door, trying to get in, and all the yelling and screaming going on. And you can just imagine the devastation it does to a child at that time. And that was the scene. Our home was not an oasis of peace. It was a war zone. It was a definite war zone.
And of course, I tried in the natural, in so many ways, in my own strength, to try and talk reason to David. Don't you understand what you're doing? Look what you're doing. This isn't right. What can we do to change this? And of course, every time I try and bring it up, which I'm sure I didn't do in the kindest way all the time, because I was just so blown out of the water, and I was angry and upset too, and then it would just make him angrier, and everything would just escalate all the time and get worse. It got me absolutely nowhere. And so things just escalated, and finally it was, even though I was walking with the Lord, there's just such a tendency to try and figure it out on your own. I know I can figure this out, or if I just reason with you or something. And finally, one day I just got down on my face before the Lord, and I said, "This isn't working. I don't know what to do. I don't have a clue how to fix this. I don't know how, I don't even know what to do." I just had no idea. I felt just this swirling confusion all the time. And so I just really, from that day on, started spending quality time with the Lord in prayer and in His Word, and built up my faith inside my heart to say, "Lord, you show me how to pray. You show me how to love Him. Show me how to love Him." According to 1 Corinthians 13, how to be patient, how to be kind, how to not keep a record of wrongs, how to show Him the love of Jesus, and show me how to pray, show me how to stand on your word. And if we'll ask God how to do those things, He'll do it. And I did that, and God answered our prayers.
Yeah, that was the answer. The answer came through all the intercession of my wife, because my wife did intercede for me. I did open my heart, and that was what happened. I gave my heart to Jesus. I understood Jesus for the first time in my life. My wife, who had been interceding and praying for me for a long time, this wasn't an overnight process. Absolutely, it was a long process, but it was because of her devout intercession that I came to know Jesus, and our life did turn around, and we were able to start over. And that was the last time I ever had a drink or even desired a drink. And it's life-changing.
We serve a powerful God. We have to understand that our God is powerful. He's not powerless. When we go to Him in prayer and share our hearts and intercede and come before His throne, the Word says Jesus is ever living to make intercession on our behalf. He's just waiting for us to pray. And God is powerful if we'll accept that He is, and not just think that, well, I'm going to pray, but what's it going to do, or I'm not even going to pray, I'm just going to try and figure this out on my own.